Formagi YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken. The last letter, story in English. The rain tapped against the wooden shutters. A slow, steady rhythm. Almost like fingers knocking. The room smelled of damp paper. Old books. Dust that had not been disturbed in years. I stepped inside. The floorboards groaned under my weight. A draft brushed the back of my neck. Cold. Too cold for a house that should have been empty. On the desk lay a single envelope. Yellowed edges. My name written in a shaking hand. A hand I knew. A hand that should not have written anything ever again. I swallowed hard. My fingers trembled as I reached for it. The paper felt warm. Strangely warm. As if someone had touched it only moments earlier. A faint sound rose behind me. The soft rustle of fabric. Like someone shifting their weight. But the room was empty. Completely still. I turned the envelope over. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. The seal was broken. Not freshly. Not recently. But broken in a way that looked deliberate. Almost inviting. I pulled out the letter. The ink was dark and uneven. Lines pressed deep into the paper. As if written with urgency. Or fear. My eyes moved across the first sentence. Then the second. Each word grew heavier. Darker. The air thickened around me with every line I read. The final sentence ended abruptly. Cut off mid-thought. A jagged stroke trailing off the page. As if the writer had been interrupted. As if something had been standing right behind them. A shiver ran down my spine. I felt a presence at my back. Still. Silent. Close enough for breath to touch my skin. I turned slowly. My breath tightened in my throat. The air behind me felt heavier. As if someone stood only an inch away. Watching. Waiting. The dim light from the window stretched across the floor. Long. Thin. Uneven. But another shadow rested beside mine. A shape that did not belong to me. A shape that did not move when I moved. My skin prickled. My heart beat a sharp rhythm inside my chest. I forced myself to turn fully. To face whatever waited behind me. Nothing stood there. Just empty space. Stillness. Silence thick enough to swallow my breath. Yet I felt the weight of eyes on me. Invisible. Focused. Patient. The letter trembled between my fingers. The ink on the page seemed darker now. As if it absorbed the shadows in the room. As if the words themselves deepened in color. Becoming fresher. More alive. I lifted the page closer to the faint strip of light. The handwriting began to waver. Lines shifting slightly. Swaying as if stirred by a breath that did not come from me. A low sound rose from the hallway. A distant scrape. Metal against wood. Slow. Dragging. Deliberate. My pulse hammered. I stepped back from the doorframe. My heel pressed into the uneven floorboard. The wood gave a short creak. Sharp. Too loud for the quiet house. The scraping sound stopped. Silence pressed its weight against my ears. A silence that felt aware. A silence that listened. I folded the letter slowly. But the moment the paper bent, a gust of cold air rushed across the room. Strong enough to lift the loose pages on the desk. Strong enough to close the half-open shutter with a single violent slap. The sudden noise shot through me. I steadied myself against the desk. My palm pressed against a layer of fine dust. Except for one clear circle. A mark left by a cup. Fresh. Wet at the edges. Someone had been here. Recently. Very recently. A faint drip echoed from somewhere deeper in the house. A steady rhythm. Water. Or something thicker than water. The smell reached me next. Metallic. Rich. Sharp. A scent that clung to the back of my tongue. The hairs on my arms lifted. I followed the sound despite every instinct urging me to stop. To turn